Put your eyes back in your head.
I got like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, I sincerely thought about this, and I have to be honest about what I'm saying, about what I'm feeling, about everything that I said and everything that I haven't said. I just got to be honest about it. And we're about the fact, the facts, and the truth. We're about being authentic, being honest with ourselves. And this is what this show is going to be about. Authenticity, being honest, no absolute bullshit, no horse shit. This will not be the show for that. So I will open things up so you guys can come on. I'm gonna do just do things just a little bit differently. Because I really do have something to say, and I don't think I can be a fucking analyst about it. I mean I can, but I think this calls for honesty. I think this calls for no beating around the bush. I typically get a lot of when I get a feeling about something, it's like it doesn't go away. And anybody that knows me know when I get a fucking feeling about something and somebody, it doesn't go away. It 9 times out of 10 it end up happening the way that I think it is. Let me take y'all back. I want to take you back to 1970. No, I'm just bullshit. One thing I pride myself on is being honest, being real, and just like I said, just being real, bro. It's like just being real and being honest. And one thing, Mad Mike Sports, AFN, the heavy hitters, like that's what we own. And we typically don't like to point the finger, particularly at players. I don't know if I'm gonna hold to that. I'm just not. I'm being honest. I don't know if I'm gonna hold to that, but I don't know how to say outside of this. Like from what I've seen, I don't know how to be. I don't know how to not be upset with this. I don't know how not to be upset. I don't know how to not look at every aspect of this team and just say, all right, I believe in you. Just got to be honest. Got to be honest about this. And the main reason why I have to say this, looking at myself, it's like for me, I got to look myself in the mirror and say, all right, were you honest about every aspect of this team? And for me, I can only say so many times you know, ownership, players on the field, coaching. You know, I can only point at so many things, at so many, so many times. I mean, how many times are we gonna keep saying this over and over and over again? And like I said, and I'm gonna warn anybody that really isn't like, if you're not a constant on this show, I wouldn't try me today. I wouldn't try us today, because this is not the day to be bullshitting if you're not a constant on this show. What we witnessed yesterday. Let me take it back a little bit first. Let me take it back. Okay, so 2016, the Atlanta Falcons built this team where offensively we had a damn good quarterback, damn good receiver, Hall of Fame receiver, damn good running game, pretty good offensive guru as far as, Kyle Shanahan's concerned. He was very good. Make no mistake about it. Very good at what he does. Defensively, brought in a young, inexperienced head coach, Dan Quinn. Hire him to be that guy. And 2015 was an absolute nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. Okay. 2015 was an absolute nightmare. We was calling for the offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, to get absolutely Miller Gang, how you doing? Corey, what's going on? Campaign, what's going on? Game Bread Monk, how everybody doing? Like I said, throw that red and black in there, man. Just throw emoji in there, any motherfucking thing. Give y'all a shout out. But we was calling for that man to get fired, because that offense was absolutely atrocious. We did have weapons. We didn't really have weapons that year. Julio Jones was, the center of attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the center of attention of that offense. I think he damn near broke a receptions record. I believe he broke the Falcons reception record, but he was headed to breaking the NFL receptions single season receptions record. Like, they were just throwing the Julio every game. I think that was one of the places where kind of sent Julio down physically. That's just my opinion. 2016, reminded, they did not play well defensively. They just make no mistake about that. The Falcons did not play well. They were one of the worst defenses in the league. I think they was ranked 25th. They gave up a lot of yards, gave up a lot of points. But the thing is, ironically, they got a lot of turnovers. And the offense outscored that defense. So we had a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame wide receiver that got us out of a lot of predicaments. We had an offensive running game with Kyle Shanahan that got out of a lot of situations. So the offense in its entirety, they were well-rounded. And they got us out of a lot of situations. But defensively, we never really truly improved. Granted that we had, Vic Beasley set a single season sack record with the Atlanta Falcons. I think he had like 16 sacks on that season. So like the dude was absolute. Like he was doing his thing. Falcons got a lot of turnover. They got a lot of sacks. They got a few sacks. But defensively, they really didn't get. But they really did not improve defensively. Not much. To where we can say, all right, it was easily a top 10 defense. Now, granted, we did lose, guys later on in the season, like Adrian Claiborne, Desmond Trufant, obviously. It's like, defensively, we're a mess. Going to the Super Bowl, we fired a few head coaches, coaches on that staff, Richard Smith, who did a pretty good job. But he did not see eye to eye with Dan Quinn, so he ended up firing him, letting him go. And I thought that was strange because he ended up taking over as the play caller. And, did we really see a difference in play calling when Dan Quinn got in? Nah, we really didn't. Tank, what's going on? ATL, what's going on? So when you looked at that defense with the Atlanta Falcons, and one of the guys that were on that staff obviously was Raheem Morris. And it always kind of like baffled me, if a guy is such a good defensive coach, why in the bloody hell did you put him on the offense? And the more that I thought about it over the years, it's just like, all right, so if he's a defensive guy, like why the hell do you put him on as a wide receivers coach? And throughout the years, like we fans, as long as we win and we putting up numbers and whatnot, like we're not questioning the fact that Raheem was on the offensive side of the ball. Like we're not questioning that. Then, fast forward to him going to, coming to Atlanta, I thought it was really interesting. And this is something that I stated a while back. I don't know if I said it to you guys, but I know I said it to the crew. When the Atlanta Falcons played the Kansas City Chiefs, and they put up a very good, I'm talking about a very good outing against, at that time, it was a Super Bowl contender team with the Kansas City Chiefs. Had a very good game. And they gave teams the blueprint on how to beat Kansas City. And Raheem Morris took a lot of credit for that game plan. So an interesting thing happened at the end of that game. Players came out. They went out of their way to state that Raheem Morris did not come up with that game plan. He only approved the game plan. I believe it was Keanu Neal. There was a couple of other players that came out and pretty much, it may have been graded year. Don't quote me on the graded year, but I do know it was Keanu Neal, I believe, at that time. Somebody came out and put him on the spot and say, no, that was Bob Sutton. I know it was a safety. If Bob Sutton put that game plan together defensively, when Raheem Morris went out of his way to take credit for that. So when I'm saying all of this to say there's a lot of question marks around Raheem Morris. And this is something that I'm I'm just trying to nitpick. But if you just put a lot of things together in regards to Raheem Morris, you will come to the conclusion of like, okay, so what are you? Are you really a DB's guy? Because, I mean, Jimmy Lake is a DB guy. Jerry Gray is a DB guy, and you kept those guys around. You brought in a guy like Lance Schultz, I believe it was Lance Schultz. I think he played with you or under you in Tampa. I believe he's on that staff as well. So there's a lot of question in regards to Raheem Morris. Is what exactly are you good at? Who are you? Fast forward a backtrack to the Super Bowl. So a guy that is your assistant head coach, he's not assisting you on the defensive side of the ball, but he's assisting you on the offensive side of the ball. Interesting. He's assisting you on the offensive side of the ball, not the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball. He's the assistant head coach next to you. His players called him out for not telling the complete truth and the whole truth and not getting Bob Sutton the credit for putting that game plan together, because he coached under with Kansas City. And he took credit for that. Players called him out on it. Then the Atlanta Falcons passed on Raheem. They passed on Raheem. So the question now remains, why did you pass on Raheem Morris and allow him to go to, the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams? So these are the questions that I have now. So you look at Raheem and you look at what this Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons weren't the only team that passed on him. So let's be clear with this. The Atlanta Falcons weren't the only team to pass on Raheem as a head coach candidate. So when you look at Raheem Morris and other teams that have passed on him, they only brought him in as a defensive coordinator. But the interesting thing is he did not really build that Rams defense. He got there and it kind of ran, the system was already, look, you got Aaron Donald. So how much coaching do you really need to do when you got a guy like that? When you have an Aaron Donald up front, like Aaron Donald is a Hall of Famer. And like I said, that dude don't have to play another lick, and he'll be regarded as one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. So you look at all of this, and you say to yourself, what is Raheem Morris? And I'm saying all of this to say this. The Atlanta Falcons are currently, 6-7 now? Offensively, I have no idea what the identity for this team is. I have no idea if the tight end is going to be the center of the offense, because you said in the offseason you're going to get Kyle Pitts the ball more this year. The Falcons were going to be a balanced team, but yet we don't see that. It's games where Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, they don't really run the ball as much, as of late. We've had to run the ball with Bijan and Tyler a lot more for obvious reasons. But even offensively, we don't know what this team is. We don't have any identity. One game, Kyle Pitts gets 10 targets. He plays well, and in the next game, he got 0 targets. One game, you got Ray McLeod as your number 1 receiver. He got dang near 100 receiving yards and 10 catches. Then the next game, you got Drake London, who may even have 5 catches in the game. May. And you got Darnell Mooney. You know, some games where he don't even touch the ball but 3-4 times in the game. So the Falcons, I don't know what this Atlanta Falcons offensive identity is. I don't know what Raheem's philosophy is. I don't know if it's a West Coast offense. I don't know if it's a spread offense. I don't know if it's like, are we going to run the ball? Like, I don't know what this team is going to be. There's no identity. And Blake, suck a dick, okay? Because for one, bitch nigga, you're not here all the time. So if you're not gonna support and be here through the good and the bad, when I do have good takes, when I do have bad takes, I'm man enough to sit up there and say that I am. So this is why this live show is going on. So if you want to continue to be in this live, just wait for me to finish talking, because I do have something to say. And if you have something to say today, you bring your punk ass onto the stage, because the link will be in the description. It's in the comments. So if you got something to say to me, come online and say something to me, okay? So wait until I'm fucking done and you speak, because I'm getting to what I'm going to get to. Before I was rudely interrupted by a grown-ass man named Blake. When you look at this Atlanta Falcons team, I just don't know what they are offensively. Now, we've had a lot of good moments, but we've had a lot of embarrassing moments. And in our embarrassing moments, I've listened to my head coach say, we're going to be resilient. 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 I hear this all the time. But yet and still, I still see a team offensively. They are absolutely, unequivocally undisciplined. Ovi Mihaly and Michael Turner stated on the Bliv podcast, and check those guys out. Got to get Mike Turner on. So Mike, if you listening, brother, I need to have you on. Got to have you on, Mike. If you just look at this team, the team is just undisciplined. We see this week after week after week. We get holding penalties at the wrong time. We get turnovers. We got guys flipping and flopping all on themselves, fumbling the ball. We got Kirk Cousins throwing balls. Like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking half the time. We got wide receivers dropping passes, tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, those guys dropping passes in key moments. The offensive line at key moments getting terrible penalties. This offense in its entirety is an absolute mess. This is an absolute mess. So when we talk about this team, this is not just the Kirk Cousins issue, because it's not solely a quarterback issue. Now, me being a quarterback coach, I personally hold the quarterback in higher regards. Now, that could very well be a flaw as far as I'm concerned, because that's how I expect a guy like Kirk Cousins to not do the crap that we've seen him doing. It is embarrassing to see a quarterback when a guy is wide open alone and he could walk into the end zone if you just put the ball into his body. Wide open. Kyle Pitts wide open. Now, granted, Kyle Pitts did have a couple of passes in that game where he clearly dropped a pass himself, hit him dead in his hand. So he's not doing himself any favors. He's not doing himself any favors in regards to this. So when you look at this offense in its entirety, when everybody is making so many mistakes, when this team is so undisciplined, we got guys fumbling the ball. Like Ray McCloud is an absolute clown. Is Ray McCloud having a good year as a receiver? Absolutely. But he is an absolute clown. He literally almost fumbled his out. He literally a couple of times fumbled his way out. Like, we could have lost a lot of games because Ray McCloud fumbled the ball. Now, in some of those situations, we got a little bit lucky with that, but the luck is running out. So, when you look at this team and you look at the offense, and I'm just getting to the offense, and like I said, I will give you guys the opportunity to come on and speak. But you turn around to the defense, and this is where I have the biggest problem with Raheem. The defensive line. It took you 12 games to figure out you need to be aggressive up front. You're supposed to be a defensive head. You're supposed to be a defensive guy, a defensive-minded guy, and it took you freaking 12 weeks to figure out that you need to be a little bit more aggressive up front. That you need to play guys like Zach Harrison a little bit. It took you 12 weeks to figure that out. It took you 12 weeks to figure out that you need to be aggressive and use Caden Ellis as a motherfucking blitzer and an edge guy. It took you 12 weeks to figure that out. Stop putting this man in coverage. It took you 12 weeks to figure that out. It took you 12 weeks to figure out that your defensive backs need to be a little bit more aggressive. This Atlanta Falcons run defense has been absolutely putrid. This team has been absolutely putrid defensively. Now, I'm not looking for, and I can only speak for myself, I'm only looking for the Atlanta Falcons to be at some point in the season, just show me that this defense is coming along. Just show me something that I can be proud. Even the secondary at this point, they're getting worse. The linebackers have been bad all year long. They are one of the worst defensive run teams and defenses in the league. And Raheem Morris is supposed to be a defensive guy. So when I look at all of this and I say to myself, what is Raheem good at? I don't want to say, I'm not looking for Raheem to turn this into a Super Bowl caliber defense, but I just need to see some improvement. And defensively, like, the only thing that I can say on this defense that I'm actually seeing somebody develop well is Arnold Ebiketie. And y'all know how I feel about him. I'm seeing him improve. I'm seeing him put back-to-back good games. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing Grady Jarrett get stronger. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing when Trent Anderson is in the lineup. I'm seeing that he's doing his job. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing AJ Terrell playing absolutely out of his mind. He's playing well this year. I'm seeing that. But guys like Clark Phillips, D. Alford, Mike Hughes, these guys are getting worse, bro. This defense is not getting any better. They're going backwards. So, and this comment here, like this is why I say it took you 12 weeks to figure out you need to be aggressive. We wouldn't even be in this position if you would have understood that you got to be aggressive. All this playing, look, this is one of the main reasons why I said in the beginning that I question the hire of Raheem Morris, because I felt like it's just a repeat of Dan Quinn in that era. It's because not of his ability to coach, but of the mindset that he's going to bring to this team. I thought it was absolutely not needed, and it was the wrong decision to bring him in is because of the mindset, not the fact that Raheem is not a good coach, not the fact that players do in fact are drawn to him. He's a player coach. I understand that he's a motivational guy. Like, players just seem to like him. But that wasn't the reason why I didn't like the hire. I didn't like the hire because I thought the Atlanta Falcons needed to be disciplined, and they needed a coach that knew what he was about, and he's going to stand on business. This is what this Atlanta Falcons did. When I look at Raheem and I see him in these damn pressers, all I see is a bunch of fucking excuses. All I hear is, stats don't, stats are for losers. It's about the wins. Motherfucker, we getting stats now, we lose it. Our quarterback is scoring what? 8 interceptions in the last 3 games. And you sitting up here doubling down on the fact that this, like, he's just playing out of his mind. I literally heard John Gruden and these guys, and not only these are quarterbacks that are saying this, and former coaches that are saying there's no way in hell when quarterbacks start throwing interceptions, you can't keep them in. Let me say that again. Coaches and quarterback guys are saying to themselves, when your quarterback start throwing interceptions and making bad throws. Mike Turner, Ovi just saying themselves, they had good plays. So these are former players saying these are good plays that Zach Robinson is drawn up. And Kirk Cousins is just making horrendous decisions and throwing interceptions with it. And then we got our head coach that is doubling down on this nonsense, saying he's our guy, he's our guy, he's our guy, he's our guy. Kurt give us the best chance to win. Motherfucker, he is literally one of the main reasons why you guys are out of the playoffs right now. If the season ends right now, Kirk Cousins has not thrown a single touchdown in 3 to 4 straight games. This guy has not thrown a single touchdown in 3 to 4 games. Are you kidding me? And we got our head coach that's doubling down saying, yep, Kurt is our guy. Kurt is our guy. I never thought even, for a millisecond to put Michael Penix in there. Like, huh? Do I believe that Michael Penix is ready at this time? Probably not. I don't think he's ready. And that could very well be the case. But don't give me this bullshit that Kirk Cousins is giving us the best chance to win, because it's not true. Shit, at this point in time, this man is on par to have the same amount of turnovers than Des Ridder had. And this is why we got rid of Des Ridder, because he was turning the ball over. So we paid $90 million for a quarterback to do exactly what Desmond Ridder is doing. We paid him $90 million to do exactly what Desmond Ridder was doing. And what makes me say this now, and this is why I'm a hypocrite for saying this. I'm going back on what I stated about patience. I don't believe that anymore. Not the fact that, I just don't like Raheem, but he's not showing me anything. He's not giving his fan anything to hope for offensively. He's not giving us anything to hope for defensively. He's not giving us anything to hope for even on special teams. He's giving us nothing to hope for. The only thing that we can hope for this year is we hope we get another damn win. We hope to see what Michael Penix can look like and hope to see if he's going to be anything. You sat there on the sideline looking in the sky like you looking for some magic pixie dust from Harry Potter or some goddamn body. Hopefully you gonna get a break, or hopefully Kirk Cousins gonna do something. Hopefully the defense get an interception, and hope for Young Way Cool hit a clutch. You just hoping. You just looking in the air, chewing damn gum. You're not calling any plays. You're not talking to your player. You're not doing anything. You're just standing there. So I'm saying all this to say this. Am I a hypocrite in regards to this? Abso-fucking-lutely. I am an absolute hypocrite for what I'm about to say. I'm an absolute hypocrite for what I'm about to say. I see no reason why the Atlanta Falcons should keep Raheem Morris as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons on these grounds. How many times are we going to continue to say, how many times as a fan base have we said these words? This team find new ways to embarrass us. How many times have we said that with this particular team? This didn't happen with Mike Smith. This didn't happen with with Dan Reeves. But under these guys, that Dan Quinn era, how many times have we said these guys find ways to embarrass this franchise? And we're talking about defensively. How many times have we continued to say, how many times are we going to continue to say this defense? I'm not even talking about offensively. Because offense is, in my opinion, it is what it is. But defensively, how many times have we said that this defense finds new ways to embarrass us? This is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about Raheem, and I don't have any confidence in him. Could that change? It could. But defensively, I have zero hope. I have no faith in him to be able to get this right on defense. He's shown me nothing defensively to say that he can make the right decisions to get this defense right. Every aspect of this defense has been absolutely embarrassing this year. D. Alford out here chasing ghosts. I don't know who in the bloody hell he was looking at. I don't know. This motherfucker like a racehorse with blinders on. With the blinders off. He's like a racehorse without the damn blinders on. He gets spooked by every little thing. This man, Justin Jefferson, is standing right in front of him for whatever reason. Nobody even on the other side. He decides that he's going to turn right and chase absolutely nobody. He's going to chase absolutely nobody and leave the best receiver in the game all alone. Yesterday, that secondary outside of AJ Terrell was absolutely embarrassing, all the way from Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, D. Alford, Clark Phillips. Everybody got smoked. And they got smoked by Sam Darnold. I have no confidence in Raheem Morris. So for me, you know what? Y'all can you can suck a dick with that tank. All right. I don't want to hear nothing about this. Ain't about Raheem. This right here ain't about no fucking Arthur Smith. So if you're gonna get in this chat and say this nonsense about no energy for this guy and that guy, look, you can say that because this is about this guy right here, right now. You can say that nonsense because we're talking about this guy right now. Y'all love to bring up motherfuckers that ain't got nothing to do with this team right now. We talking about this team. To hell with Arthur Smith, to hell with Desmond Ridder, and to hell with anybody that's not with the Atlanta Falcons right now. To hell with them. This is about what's going on right now. I don't give a flying fuck about being right. But when I'm right, it's because our team of creators and behind the scenes guy like Rashad Chapman, Sandra, so many others. Y'all know exactly who y'all are because we put together effort, research, and they make sure that guys like me have the proper information to be able to tell you guys. So I don't give a flying fuck about being right. But the reason why we in the 90th percentile, unlike you really, you motherfuckers, we're in the 90th percentile when it comes down to our takes is because we actually do our homework and we actually listen to legends and we let our emotions stand second. So a lot of y'all guys were saying, oh, the black coach, the black coach, the black coach. I don't give no damn about that. So at the end of the day, I'm saying nothing at this point that I can say that I trust Raheem defensively. Because my thing is not even the offense. I'm not worried about the offense because the offense is what it is. It's going to be up. It's going to be down for offense. We see it with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm not worried about the offense. What I'm mostly I'm concerned with is this defense. I don't care about it. Like even the great coaches like Andy Reid can't overcome just bad chemistry. Like they having a career low as far as passing yards concerned. That's not even Andy Reid like. So I'm not worried about offensively. We'll be able to get, but defensively, I just don't see any. This team is just not getting any better defensively, man. So when you look at that, man, it's like when you look at this team defensively, this is where I'm saying to myself that I don't believe in Raheem. He had his offense playing well. I don't care. We can put up 30 points a game, but defensively, I don't believe in him at all. And the only way for me to change my mind is to say I just don't believe the Atlanta Falcons should fire him, should keep him. They should fire him on the grounds of this defense is just not improving. It's not improving, and I'm not seeing any improvement in any way, shape, or form. I'm not seeing it at all. He's doing exactly what this 2016 regime did. They doubled down on the bullshit that they created, and they stated, all this, we gonna be resilient bullshit. We're not even seeing resiliency. What the fuck are we resilient for? We're gonna fight hard and we're gonna tough, we're gonna play hard. Just to go out and give up 40 fucking points again. Talk about resiliency. What the hell are you resilient about? What is there to be resilient? What is there to be sitting in the damn press conference saying the same bullshit slogan over the we're gonna be resilient and Kirk Cousins is our guy. Meanwhile, your offense, your defense is continuing to put up one of the worst defensive efforts and having one of the worst outings as far as penalties is concerned. From what I understand, OV stated on his podcast that the Atlanta Falcons just set some sort of record for penalties in a goddamn game. But this son of a bitch is sitting up here telling me that, yeah, Kirk Cousins is our guy, and we're going to be resilient, and we're just going to have to fight tough, and this team just need to play well together. Every week, your defense continues to get worse, and your team continue to get massive penalties. It's about the 7th or 8th straight. Like, I don't know how many times this team done had about 5 to 10 penalties every single game. And you're preaching to me that you're going to be resilient, and we're getting this is like I believe what Joe Patrick said, like, oh, this uncharacteristic of the Atlanta Falcons. Are you fucking kidding me? Every week we getting penalties, taking us out of scoring opportunities, and you're trying to sell me on the fact that this team is resilient. What the fuck are we resilient about? We resiliently getting our ass kicked and embarrassed every goddamn week. The fuck are we resilient about? So I say this. The only way that I like me personally, I think what has to happen with this Atlanta Falcon team, I don't think Raheem is going to get fired. Oh, that would be like, I'm just going to be honest. I just don't believe in him. And I'm not going to say that the Falcons, look, my personal opinion and what my gut is saying is fire him, because I'm just not seeing him, okay? Him alone. I don't think he has what it takes to be a head coach and trust his decision making. I don't trust Raheem's decision making. I think he has qualities of being a good head coach, but his decision making and his ego is way out of control. And it's just like that 2016 bunch. They had a whole bunch of coaches on that staff. Well, it's just these guys stuck with it. They stuck with it so much. And that damn in the damn Super Bowl, and it got us embarrassed. We had a whole 25-point lead in a whole quarter, and they stuck with it. Nobody had the common sense to say, all right, we're not going to allow this anymore. Nope. These some bitches stuck with it. All the way from the offensive coordinator to the defensive coordinator to the two clowns sitting on the sideline who's supposed to be the head coach and assistant head coach, and Raheem Morris and Dan Quinn. They sat there and watched this defense implode without making they didn't make no freaking changes. So I don't think, in regards to, I don't trust his decision making at all. And that, for me, is grounds to be fired. Do I think he's going to be fired? Absolutely not. But what has to happen for this Atlanta Falcons team, they have to bring in a defensive guy, whether it's Steve Wilkes They need an experienced guy who has been there and done that and give him total and complete control of that defense. And Raheem needs to sit down and shut the fuck up and watch and learn. Because defensively, he's done nothing. Him and Jimmy Lake have done nothing to improve this defense. Nothing. They're getting worse. So I'm going to let people on. So I believe the link is in there. I believe it's pinned to that. So if you guys want to come on and say a little bit. And like I said, I don't believe that the Atlanta Falcons should keep him around if he's going to continue to make bad decisions. And that right there is my humble opinion of why Raheem needs to be fired. So yeah. What's going on, LT? Hold on, let me see something. I can't hear it. All right, there we go.
But what is not?
All right, there you go. All right, LT, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, man, we good, bro. What's your take, bro?
So I got some time on my hands today. Lord have mercy. All right. We seen what's been taking place now for the past month. Of course, you seen we took a loss to the Saints, took a loss to Denver, winning the bye, came off the bye, lost to the Chargers, and then now yesterday to the Vikings. We're on a 4-game early. Oh.
Yeah, I still hear you though. Okay, I guess he just dropped. All right, what's going on, bro? I ain't heard talk to you in a minute. What's up, King Rich? Hey, what's going on? All right, what the hell going on? All right, there we go. Trying to figure out. All right, you got 2 screens up right now. Hold on. Let me try that one. All right, there we go. All right, there you go.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. What's going on, pimp?
Man, nothing much. You know what I really think it is? And I'm going to be real honest. After watching that game yesterday, Kirk is more of a bridge. Yesterday going to help you understand what I'm saying. Kirk is more of a bridge quarterback than us fans think he is. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because I realized something about our offensive playbook yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I realized? It's not made for Kirk Cousins. It's made for Michael Penix for that vertical game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
And see, what people don't understand is, what I think the real problem is, being that they made the playbook for Michael Penix, right? There's really no play action or bootleg what Kirk is good at. You trying to run play action out the shotgun versus like out the eye form.
Mm-hmm.
If you go look at the type of play action plays Kirk run, they weren't out the shotgun. They weren't out the pistol. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're running out the pistol really for, like you used to say all the time, the RPO quarterbacks. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
To dumb the game down for him. And that's why Kirk Cousins don't really understand the playbook, because it's really a dumbed down playbook. It's not that playbook like Tom Brady would be used to.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a vertical game for an immobile quarterback.
Yeah.
that can't get out because if you look at some of them plays, there were really running lanes in them plays. But you have a quarterback that can't get through the lane. So when I looked at it, I was like, this playbook ain't for Kirk Cousins. Ain't no way it's for him.
Yep.
That man is the play action and bootleg king. He one of the ones that helped them invent play action to this level. They basically Minnesota ran the same play they will run with Kirk Cousins. We got a vertical playbook. We don't have a real play. If they want to do play action, they rather do it out the shotgun or something like that because they have Penix who can actually run for a yard or two.
Yeah.
You have an immobile quarterback that don't have that type of arm trying to run a vertical playbook. And I realized that when they I'm going to tell you, and this one reason why I'm sort of mad at our organization, because Kirk got hurt in that Denver game. I know he did. I watched the play he got hurt on with his arm, his throwing arm, when he slapped that man throwing arm hard as, because Denver wasn't playing with us. And what happened was Kirk still hurt. They just don't want to tell nobody. That's that Arthur Smith, what Arthur Smith did with Bijan that day. And then if it come out he really was hurt, now we find again. But more so, the offense isn't working because the type of throws you got to make. One thing I realized when they put Michael Penix in that Denver game, he don't have to plant his foot to throw the ball. He's not that. They're trying to teach him to plant his foot, but they want him to be able to do both. That's why Raheem said what we got Penix doing is watching a bunch of Mahomes film. And they got Kirk watching Peyton Manning film because you know why? Penix already know how to stand in the pocket. Penix game ain't really running like y'all think it is. His game really in the pocket.
Yeah.
So now they're teaching him the Mahomes nuances of the game of when you get out the pocket. They trying to teach Kirk to stand in the pocket because if you ever really go back and look at Kirk's old film, he was never really a pocket passing quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
This how no more people don't know the type of quarterback we got. That's why I actually was sort of for him over Justin Fields. But when I seen the playbook, now that I really understand, none of what we got is for Kirk Cousins. Not the receivers, not the tight end. That's why they're going to hold on to Kyle Pitts more than y'all think they is. Because one thing about Penix, he doesn't have a favorite. He's a rookie.
Boy.
Kirk has a favorite, which is Drake.
Yeah.
But Penix don't play favorites. He just want to win. He young. His understanding of the game may not be as intricate as Kirk's, but what it is he don't have a favorite receiver. Darnell Mooney's not his favorite. Drake is not his favorite. He finna get that. Them sideline plays y'all be wanting, Kirk can't throw them. If you look at that first play, that you want me to tell you what really, and I wasn't even a big wanting to get Michael Penix fan, but you know what made me happy we got him? That first play when they put him in on that Denver game. One thing I realized about that young man, he ain't scared to take the top off on the first play. Period.
Yeah, he's slaying
that thing.
Gonna
test your secondary first before he even think. And when it clicked in my mind during this game, when we come in throwing first, if Penix was in, Penix don't have to set his feet to throw the ball. Even though he left-handed, he can throw to the left and the right, which was something Mike Vick couldn't do. I watched him. That man, when he threw that pass to Casey Washington Jr., before he got hit like that, that man didn't even plant his feet. He just got the arm strength.
Yeah, he just got that.
They trying to teach him how to plant his feet. That's why they don't want him out there yet to save the arm strength. Because if you plant your feet, you save your arm strength. But he's just naturally gifted with arm strength versus Kirk Cousins. Well, I watched when he threw that ball to Casey Washington, that man's feet weren't planted. That man was throwing crazy footwork. Even Matt Ryan said his footwork ain't ready. But the way he's just strong enough to throw without needing to plant his feet, which is something Kirk can't do, and that's why his throws be off. If Kirk's feet ain't planted, boy, them throws off. I see it. I seen it this game. I said, you know what? None of this team is for Kirk Cousins. Yeah. This whole team, what it is, this whole offense built for Michael Penix. They're not finna get rid of none of these offensive guys. I can almost promise you that. You want them to get rid of Kyle Pitts? I don't think they're gonna do it because he's so young that he can still play with Penix. I think that's what Kyle Pitts waiting on, honestly, if you want to be real about it. But I don't want to take up too much time because I got a lot to say, truthfully.
Hey man, let me tell y'all something about King Rich. He go way back me when I was learning film under Lieutenant Dan. So this is my brother from day one. So I appreciate you coming on, boy.
Oh yeah, and I'm happy to see all y'all together too, because that's always what I wanted. Because I'm gonna listen to all y'all.
You know it.
Whatever went on behind the scene, I'm gonna listen to all y'all. Cause all y'all got good taste. That's why I posted. Whoever said Mad might be wrong, it's been very few times he's been wrong. Even when I disagreed with him. He told me, come on, King Richie, I know you smarter than this. Then when I look at it and I sit back and get out my feelings after the game, because it take me to after the game to get out my feelings.
Me and Rick been going at it for a good minute, man. Like I said, this is my brother, man. I appreciate you, man. We're gonna get.
I appreciate you. All right, y'all.
What's going on, Wolf? What you got, bro?
What's going on, man? How's everybody doing, man?
Hey, we're doing wonderful, man.
We good, Wolf.
All right, man. Listen, I'm doing good too. I'm doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it is that, look, I think everybody's forgetting the landscape of the NFL. You see, the average quarterback has made a lane in the NFL. They've made a living in the NFL. Average quarterback. The average quarterback now, GMs are getting on their knees for these average quarterbacks. Sam Darnold is going to have a market. Shit, Jameis Winston's going to have a market this offseason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Average quarterbacks have ruined the landscape of the NFL. Because Terry now, who deserves an extension, I believe he deserves an extension, but now they're going to question certain deals that he's made because he had to make them, right? You're forced to make certain deals because our quarterback position was poor at best, and now we're average. We're probably poor again. I listened to Minnesota Vikings content creators, Mike, in the summertime when we made the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, hey, listen, man, if you don't got a speedster receiver or you don't got a guy that can open up the field like Justin Jefferson, it's going to be very hard to, right. So I said to myself, I said, wow. I said, okay, cool. And then when you kind of look at Kirk, it's like, well, he's been in this situation before, Mike. People don't remember. Robert Griffin III and him were battling out in Washington.
Yep.
So he's been in this situation before, right? But the problem is that the landscape, Mike, I think people forget about the landscape. The average quarterback right now, there's so many of them that these GMs, they go crazy to give out deals for quarterbacks that just are crazy glue. It's more of a crazy glue thing. Listen, I'm not upset because when you look at it, it's like, I don't want Michael Penix a part of this, situation right now, because I think the kid needs to learn. I think the kids need to grow. And the important thing, Mike, look at what Michael Penix has witnessed this season.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Kansas City, 3 divisional games, right? We went from swag surfing to Kirk Cousins to now all of a sudden we hate him. Right? I mean, am I telling? Stop me when I'm lying, please. Anybody, stop me when I'm lying. I mean, we went from swag surfing. Remember, Mike? We was like this, right? We were doing this. Oh my God, Laffy Taffy. I got holes in different area codes. We went from all of this.
God.
We went from all of this to now all of a sudden, oh my God, he's the worst quarterback in NFL history. I thought the worst quarterback in NFL history probably was Nate Perryman or, EJ Manuel, but Kirk Cousins obviously has that award now. Maybe Ken Dorsey. I'm not sure. But again, it's the roller coaster, Mike. And again, it's almost like they changed the landscape of the NFL, and it blinds us because we've been so bad for so long. It's been,
I don't know.
Mike, it's been a decade.
Somebody in the chat said, and this is something that I said a couple years ago. I just think the pocket quarterback is pretty much just it's extinct right now. They don't want guys, and they've changed the rules. And you can kind of see anybody that's stationary in the game. These guys, they're going to be gone out of the league, and I think this is one of the main reasons why you look at like Kirk Cousins. He's struggling because he's that guy. And like I said, that's why Matt Ryan had to go. That's why a lot of these guys at pocket quarterback, I don't like it, but they gone, bro. They gone.
And before I shut up, Mike, you like wrestling, right? You love wrestling, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, everybody here knows wrestling. In wrestling, the storylines change every week. Guess what's happening in the NFL right now? Storylines change. All of a sudden, Bryce Young is better than CJ Stroud.
Oh man, Mike called that one too.
All of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, CJ Stroud is on a decline and Bryce Young is on an upcline. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
You see how storylines change? They change so quickly. I think that we need just to chill. Let's see what happens these last 4 games, right? And please, if somebody here on this channel, Pat, anybody on the panel chat, any content creator, please, can we get Terry's plan? If he gets an extension, which I hope he does, can we get a plan for the draft? Can we plan for defensive players, please?
We need that. We need that.
Please, Mike. Mike, I'll just sweet baby Jesus in a manger. Can we get some defensive players? Just please. I don't want to take too much time, fellas.
We don't need any more wide receivers and running backs. Look, I love offensive linemen, but I'm tired of seeing them. We need some D linemen. We need some linebackers.
Please, hey Mike, I'm gonna be in the chat, man. Salute to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. Just can everybody just get their rosary beads out? Just please.
Yeah, man.
Hey, salute to everybody, man. Salute to you, Mike, man.
Hey, we appreciate it. Hey, man, we're gonna do a second part of this because I think we got a lot to say. So that case style we might have to do this at 6 o'clock. So Peeps, what's going on? Then we're gonna get
Yo, what up, Mike, man? Hey, I ain't gonna take up too much time. I gotta get ready for work.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with Wolf on that one, man. Man, look, we can't get them. We can't have no more offensive players, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't care. We got to get a linebacker in the first round, man. But this defense is terrible. I mean, I don't know whose scheme we're using. We need to throw that shit in the garbage.
I'm starting to even think that maybe we should have kept Ryan Nielsen at this point because it's been horrible.
Man, man, it's like they stick to one thing, and then in the second half, they go completely a whole way from it. I'm just like, man, look, my thing is like, stick what's working, man. If they coming up, if the cornerback is coming up, playing press, and the linemen are getting that sacks, then let it keep rolling. Now, I'm not saying that every defensive play will work, but let's not give them a chance to score. But I mean, like, look, I don't care. We hold them to field goals, but we can't have Justin Jefferson running all over the place.
Right.
We cannot have him run all over. Like, I understand.
No. We're not doing that. We is not doing that. I done had therapy for the last 5 hours for this.
Hey man, look, I just came back from vacation. That ruined the last 2. That ruined my whole road trip coming back.
I just want to know one thing. Why the hell did we stop running the ball when the shit was working in the first place? We were gashing the Minnesota Vikings up the middle. And then all of a sudden we just decided to stop the run. And this has been a continual problem every single week. We have one of the best running back tandems in the NFL. I don't know what's wrong with Raheem Morris, but I'm sorry, he's got to go because that don't make no damn sense. It don't. We were gashing them in the run game. We've been gashing other teams in the run with the run game. And then we just completely go away from it. And I don't understand. You've got a 2-headed monster in the backfield. Run the goddamn ball.
What are the Eagles doing this year? They said we don't have right now. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are not on the same page, along with Smith. Those guys are on the same page, so we gonna ride. Well, come on, ride that train and ride it. They riding that Saquon Barkley train. They riding that motherfucker till his nuts fall off. Okay,
and getting drunk off that juice.
That's why I'm mind blown. It was literally working. We were beating the shit out of the Vikings when we were running. They couldn't stop it. They could not stop the run. And I don't understand why they went away from that.
Yeah.
And it's been a continual problem every single fucking week. It's ridiculous.
I tell you one thing. If I see the same thing this Monday night game, I don't drive to Las Vegas. I'm kidnapping Raheem Morris. And I'm like, hey, Jerry Gray, you can take this team over, man.
Oh, man.
I'm driving him to L.A. I said, hey, Sean McVay, keep your boy with you, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go to that game next Monday. So if I see it, I'm going to jump over the goddamn line and I'm going to drag Raheem out my damn self.
Hey, let me get Tank in here, man. Hey, despite everybody know, Tank know I love him to death, man. What's going on, Tank? I need you to come with the bullshit. I need you to come with the bullshit because we not doing that. We're doing them niceties right now. Come on, motherfucker. Come on. Where you at? We can't hear you. Oh, I guess he was having some trouble. But go ahead, Maury.
Yeah, I'm about to say with my water at? I'm about to enjoy this show.
You know, come here and say some crazy shit.
Man, it's just like I said, every single week. I've been watching this team for a long time, and it just. I don't know if it's just bad juju for Atlanta, period. I don't know if we're fucking cursed ever since 16. I don't know. I don't believe
you. I just think, and like the thing is, you have to choose an identity, and the Falcons refuse to choose an identity. If we're going to be a passing team, we just got to go all out and be that defensively. If we're going to, if this team is just going to be known for being a linebacker, like the University of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We know when you go to Georgia, they known for fucking defense and running the fucking ball. All this punk goddamn pass that fucking Bobo is doing, that ain't fucking Georgia. Like, we know when we go to Georgia Tech. You know Georgia Tech go run the damn ball. You see what I'm saying?
95% of the
time. We don't know what the fuck we going to get from the Falcons from week to week, defensively or offensively. They have yet to you got to choose an identity. It's something that Jew has been stating.
Our identity is balance.
What the fuck does that even mean? I don't even know what the fuck that means anymore.
You gotta be able to run and pass. You can't just run 70%. You just can't run all the time, bro. You gotta be able to mix in with the pass, bro.
That's a bland statement. You have to choose an identity, whether it's going to be inside zone winning scheme, outside zone winning scheme, West Coast offense, or deep shot. You got to choose something.
It's the outside zone scheme. That's what we run. It's the outside zone. But you got to be able to mix in with the play action, with the pass.
That's the thing we don't know with the passing game. Like we know when we know what I know when I play goddamn. The Raiders right now, we know who gonna get the goddamn ball. Ain't no motherfucking secret. Who gonna get the ball when we play the Raiders? You see what I'm saying? They gonna find a way to get that goddamn
Rob Bowers.
That motherfucker's an alien, okay? He ain't even fucking.
But that's their best player though. That's their best player on offense though. It's Bowers. We have so much weapons. We got to feed everybody.
No, that's the whole point. Motherfucker, I need to look. When you got that fat ass kid, you know that motherfucker need to be fed. And if he ain't, he's gonna be sneaking in the fucking refrigerator, stealing in every goddamn thing. Okay, so all that everybody need to be fed is bullshit. So the fuck it don't. When I got a motherfucking beast and an animal, feed that motherfucker until he full.
So hold on. So hold on. So are you saying you don't want to pass the ball not one time in the game? You don't want to pass the ball. You don't want to have no type of balance.
No, if it's not working, no, absolutely not. Go ahead, Gil. Go ahead.
Yep.
The problem isn't about passing the ball or running the ball. This is not the issue that we're talking about. It's about the situations in which they're doing it in. We can't be running. We can't, like you said, we have to decide on 3rd and 1. Oh shit! Hold on, my bad. TV, cut your shit. Okay, all right. Now, when when Mike's talking about an identity, it's about sticking to something that's working. Like you said, well, let's look at yesterday's game for example.
Right.
And this is definitely shout out to Obi Mahaley and Michael Turner because they said the same thing on their show. Our identity was building the pass game off the run game. That doesn't mean that they're gonna run the ball all the time, but you set a tone.
I'm sorry. Crazy hell,
but didn't that first drive they set the tone running the football? Didn't they do that?
They did that.
But we went away from
but here's the thing. Here's the thing with Minnesota. Minnesota had been blitzing all game. They've been blitzing all game.
Mm-hmm.
They played very aggressive. Their whole identity was we're going to make, well, like you said, we don't believe Kirk Cousins is going to win us this game. So let's blitz the hell out of him and make him make a decision. So what do? They countered it with the run game. You still had the balance. You still had the thing is you still had the balance. The problem was once you had those 2 defensive blunders, you forced the Falcons to get away from one aspect of the game. Now you're passing the ball a lot more. This is what
yeah, and the screen game was working. And the screen game was working too.
Yeah. So when something works, and that's where the offensive problem has been going on with this team all year is once something is working, we're trying to force something else going.
I think it's more the turnovers that's killing the offense more than that.
And penalties.
And penalties too. But the turnovers is killing the Falcons. The turnovers killed the Falcons in the Chargers game. I thought the Falcons played good defense in the Chargers game, but the turnovers killed them. We should have won that Chargers game.
But
be honest with you. Hell, we should have won this game.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd week. This is the 2nd week in a row where this offense have managed at least 500 plus yards and scored less than 24 points. Like you said, you're right. The turnovers is the main issue right now, offensively. Like you said, that can't be disputed. But let me ask everybody a question here since we got the panel up here. I've been asking this question for a while now. Do y'all believe that the news and the hype behind, and I call him Junebug, has finally got Kirk Cousins to snap into this drought that he's in?
I think the pressure,
honestly. Oh,
yeah, I think that pressure been on him since Denver. I'm gonna be honest. Because, like the end of Denver, and because we're going into that bye week, and then he started looking like absolute dog shit against the goddamn Chargers. And I believe that pressure got. To me, I think it got either that Denver game or the Charger game. That pressure just start rising and rising and rising.
I think it was a report that came out was saying that this could be Kirk Cousins' last year if he doesn't, ride the ship all the way throughout the season. I think that was the pressure that came out. He probably read a report saying this could be his last year if he doesn't, play good enough. I think that maybe that could be the reason too as well.
Yeah, that could be, but in all honesty, I just think like I watched from the beginning of the season. Yeah, I was on the Kirko train, but from the beginning, before we even was getting Kirk Cousins, I was against it only because of the simple fact that yes, he looked incredible as far as the regular season. But when it comes to playoffs, the man, like you said, we've stated this several times. He's only had one win in his whole entire NFL career. And he throws crucial picks in crucial moments when the game is on the line. And there was just I don't think we should have signed him. I honestly don't think so. I mean, yeah, Ritter was not that great, but I think he would have been a lot better now if he would have got a real coach. And now we're seeing that.
But let's be honest, this Falcons team wasn't really built for year one to go deep into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. This was like a long haul type of year.
I was
this year wasn't
hoping that we could at least make the playoffs and win at least one damn game, but we can't even. We can't get out our own way.
I agree with that. I think we should at least make the playoffs this year. I agree with that.
Oh, so y'all just basically just segued into another question that I had. So, do y'all believe that the expectations coming into this season has now caught up with the team itself?
I mean, he caught up to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
he's the one blowing. He's the one blowing the games. To be honest with you, I like the last 2 games actually. I mean, the Denver game was a blowout. I mean, that was an ass whooping. Yeah, that was an ass whooping. But the last 2 games.
But even still, like there's no excuse for any of these bad performances. Period. He is a veteran quarterback, and he should know better. He's played enough games to understand what he needs to do, and he's not doing it. Period. That's why they cut his ass loose in Minnesota.
They wanted him. They wanted him. Let me say this. So for me, I always stated, he's a very good quarterback. But for me personally, this is why I always state, and everybody always have a problem with me saying this, us saying this, is that like you got to be able to play ball in key moments. Like you can throw for 3,000-4,000 yards, but like when those moments come, I don't need you throwing the ball up to goddamn Shaquille O'Neal or Tony Gonzalez for an alley-oop. That's what he's doing. That ball was floating in the air for 5 seconds.
Yeah. That ball, he threw that shit up.
You overthrow a guy that's 6'6". He's 6'6". You overthrew him. Well, who are you throwing to?
Yeah, he's throwing some crazy balls.
And Kyle Pitts could have, man, if he had threw that thing in the inside, Kyle Pitts would have walked in. He would have walked in the end zone.
And you wondering, and I'm screaming, and excuse my voice right now, because I'm sounding like Richard Pryor, but goddamn, this motherfucker here, they got 4 fucking targets in the last 2 minutes of the goddamn game. You couldn't do that in 3 quarters? And you trying to tell me that Kyle Pitts is the problem? He's not the fucking problem. The thing is the Atlanta Falcons don't know what the fuck to do with him. He wide open, walk into the end zone for a touchdown with his size. If not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, granted,
you the guy to lead. You the guy to lead third.
How do they not know what to do with Kyle Pitts? How did they not know? We saw it with Matt Ryan last year.
Agenda. The thing is,
excellently.
Let me say this before we get everybody. Before everybody take. When you talk about coaches, when you hire young coaches like these, all right, because they're young, they're fixated on implementing their scheme. They're not worried about getting guys in. They're worried about themselves. So this is oftentimes guys like Kyle Pitts, they get lost in the struggle of him trying to be an offensive coordinator and him trying to prove himself. This is what Zach Robinson, and because you got to remember, he's trying to prove himself as a head coach, Raheem. So they're fixated on implementing their scheme, and making their stamp on the game. They're not worried about, because if they worried about winning games, why the fuck Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier and that offensive line not doing what Philadelphia doing? Our offensive line, they are some fucking monsters in that run game. Them are some grown ass men. Bijan has taken his step as becoming one of the best running backs in the game, behind Saquon Barkley right now. This dude is a fucking monster.
He's the top 3 running back to me,
bro. Like, and we're not feeding him and Tyler Algier. Bro, what are you doing? Kirk, if you don't goddamn tag, if you don't if you don't do right now what the Chiefs are doing, the Chiefs say, all right, we don't have the wide receiver, we don't have the weapons. We're just gonna check the ball down, get it to our tight ends, and get it to our running back, and just let Mahomes game. We're not even doing that. That's our game plan is to win games. So they're not worried about winning games. They're worried about implementing that system, and this is why the Falcons are losing right now.
But they have Kirk Cousins at quarterback, but I don't think they should put in Michael Penix this year. I think they should wait till next year for Michael Penix so that they can.
I agree with that. I wouldn't put him in either. Not with the way that this offense is playing. It's just not with the scheme. No. I
disagree with that. The only reason why I disagree with that because I'm so fucking tired. I hate quarterback. I cannot stand bad quarterback play. Kirk Cousins, especially when you a 13-year veteran, you've been in the league this long and you making those, bro. Look, I want to drop kick that motherfucker out of the lineup. I would do it my damn self. That shit can't happen.
But he's a vet, though. I think he's a vet. He should able to figure it out, though. He's not going to be in the slump for the rest of the season.
All that. He should have figured that shit out the second game. We going on game 5 talking about figuring it out. Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah, he had a whole bye.
Yeah, he should have had it figured out. He should have had it figured out in the offseason. You had a whole offseason. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
He's coming off an injury, though. He's coming off an injury in the offseason.
Man, fuck him and that injury. His injured ass on the
goddamn ground. I'm honestly feeling like Atlanta got finessed out of $100 million.
He's shown early in the season that he was good, though. He's shown that. He's just in a slump. He's in a slump right now.
Go ahead, kid.
But like I said, what happened after that New Orleans game that we lost to? What was the first thing that was going on? What was the first piece of news that you heard? Is it time for Michael Penix to start?
Yep.
Right after that game.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, I said the same thing. That's what I said. I think it was done during that. That's why I said it was during the Denver game.
Yeah.
But
hold on. I got a question for the defense though, because I heard my Mike talking about the defense. So
we went out for a second. Hold on. Yeah.
Like we played any good defense against the Vikings? Well, up to that first half. I mean, it was just the two blown coverage that was for touchdowns. I mean, that was really the only mistakes in that game. Because the pass rush.
Hold on, nigga. I know you ain't say two.
No, it was the last two games.
Hold on, you say it was two bad plays and that's it?
I mean, no coverage.
Hold on. Maybe. Hold on. Okay. I know. Look. Hold on. Let me repeat. Hold on.
It
was two blown coverages for touchdowns.
Hold on. You just said it was two bad plays in the entire game. Oh, you just talking about a quarter?
No, because I thought the Falcons played good defense in the first half. I thought they played good defense up until the second half. The blown coverage to Addison, then the blown coverage to Justin Jefferson, and then McLeod fumbled the ball. Those are the three big plays that happened in the game. Those were the three big plays.
I give him credit on that one. Yeah,
because I'll give you the first half. I'll give you the first half.
I give him credit
because we had sacks. I think we had like 3 sacks in the first half.
Yeah, 3 sacks.
3 sacks in the first half.
I mean, that was really the game right there.
I'll give you first half.
Yeah. But like you said, at the end of the day, like you said, with the blown coverages, I think the biggest issue that we really had on it was the defensive players falling on their face.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what made that look bad. I mean, if y'all literally go back to the one where D. Offer got turned around for no reason, bro, they making a meme out of his ass right now.
Oh man!
Are you running? Did you take some ecstasy? Did you take some goddamn PCP? Or did you say, who the fuck you running from? Who? Ain't with nobody over there.
This dude literally backpedaled, turned the other way, While the other is while Justin Jefferson was on his right side, he turned to the left, turned back around, and fell. So it just
PCP. Look, they gave that man some PCP. I don't know what the hell you were seeing.
The only DB that played good was AJ Terrell, because I seen AJ Terrell was following Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that was it.
He was shadowing him most of the game. I don't know what happened, man.
They had to put Justin Jefferson in the slot.
Anderson.
Yeah, they put Justin Jefferson in motion. They put him in motion, and he got off.
Right.
And then they kind of switch him on. He kind of switched off on. He kind of did.
Yeah. You just had too many defensive backs. Because if you really look at, and I know when we look at the stat line with Sam Darnold, if you really look at that stat line about how many yards that he passed for, about 160 of them damn yards came off of 3 throws.
Yep.
That's it.
And two of them were during hunting season.
Oh boy. Oh,
exactly.
So would you agree that we got to upgrade that corner? Mike Hughes ain't it.
Oh, Mike Hughes gonna be a free agent after the season anyway. So
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna resign.
Nah, I doubt that. That's why I said this off season they have to bring. In my opinion, this is what it is. I don't believe personally that they will fire Raheem.
I mean, they gave him a 5-year contract, right?
I mean, that don't matter. Like, they can still pay him. That don't matter. Why I'm saying this, for me personally, just as an owner, man, at some point, you just have to say to yourself, I don't care how many guys I fire, I'm gonna get this. You got to be anal, and you got to be absolutely, even if people in your own camp looking at you cross-eyed about the decisions you make, you cannot continue to have your head coach embarrass you defensively like that. They're getting embarrassed defensively. It's not even offense. Offense is always going to be up and down. It don't matter what. Like one year, NFL offense, like we see the Chiefs, is unstoppable. And right now, they barely throwing for 200 yards a game now. So offensively, it's always going to be up and down. But defensively, the Falcons they have been getting embarrassed. And as an offense, as an owner, you gotta set the standard. You gotta set a standard. You gotta be anal about it. You gotta look. If you gotta fire him, you gotta fire him. But you got to light a fire up on somebody's ass. Like, we're not going to continue to get embarrassed like that. So I got to bring in old ass Bill Cowell or whoever. I'm going to do it. We're not going to play this bad defensively because this is embarrassing. I don't know how many times I saw everybody just slipping and falling. Look, I don't know what the heck was going on. That was embarrassing last week.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
So we gonna kind of like I said, man, we got hour and 30, man. And like I said, we're gonna have part 2 of this. Okay, so that cool with you? Have part 2 in an open forum.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
All right, so
because I got a lot to say too. I got.
Oh yeah,
I'm about to start some shit tonight. Cause just looking back at it, it gave me nightmares last night. I need to get this shit off my chest.
and you talk. He gonna have his. More likely, he'll have, because I know you gonna be fired up about this. And like I said, this is a coaching issue. I can't even blame Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, and the defense at this point. The Falcons is lacking an identity. If yet to choose,
Kyle Pitts dropping passes though. You got to put some type of blame on him too. You got to put some type of accountability on these players too, though, man.
Look. Everybody getting the smoke tonight.
Hey, look. What do you hear me today? Look, it ain't nothing going right. This team right now, nothing.
Everybody getting the smoke.
We got a lot of stuff we gonna talk about. What we were gonna speak on anyway. So y'all, you just got to stay tuned for everything. Listen to everything that we say. Okay, like this is why we say don't listen to one thing and pick and choose about what we say. We said all of this about. I've said this about Kyle Pitts. I've said a lot about Kyle Pitts. If everything goes well, and if it doesn't go well, what he gonna be? The Falcons. I made even said on the post game show. It's like, look, I can see the Falcons end up drafting a wide receiver.
Oh
Okay,
no, I hope not.
I've said why?
Guarantee.
Because of what Kyle Pitts ain't doing right now for their team. We don't know if the team even believe in him anymore. So it's like the Falcons can go anywhere at this point in time, especially with a new quarterback, because it's not about Kurt. Kurt is not going to be with this team.
Oh yeah, he's gone next year. He's out of there next year.
The Falcons are going to be in a position with the quarterback to say, all right, is this really his types of his types of wide receiver? Is Kyle Pitts his guy? So the Falcons got to make a choice now. If Mooney is the guy for Pitts, if for Penix, if Pitts is the guy for Penix, we don't know any of that right now. So in my opinion, with all these things at stake, it may not be a popular decision, but somebody might get moved for the Falcons to kill two birds in one stone to get not only a young defensive star, because that's what we need, but they might need to get a new weapon for Penix when he's the quarterback. So it's a lot of things that goes into this. It's not popular, but these are the things that we're going to have a conversation for. So we're going to get one more time, everybody get their last take, and like I said, we're going to have part 2 in case Style believe me, he got some shit for y'all. Okay, y'all definitely want to stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna get mine out of the way because I need to get ready for work. But I would definitely tune in, listening at work, because I did a good ass laugh coming back from vacation. But to me, the way it's looking right now, it's like we on a road trip, and I know for a fact I don't know where the hell I know for a fact I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not gonna tell y'all that I don't know where I'm going. It's like I'm winging it for a good minute. And then I know for a fact y'all gonna look up like, man, where the hell are y'all going? So right.
I think you went out for a minute.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know us Falcons fans, we want to win so bad. I know we want to see some improvement, but I just think that we should at least this year, just wait till this year and let us see what Raheem Morris can do with Michael Penix at least. I mean, they did draft him in the first round, top 10 pick. Let's just see what he can do with him, and then we can judge him off there.
He's not an offensive guy, though. He's a defensive guy.
Yeah, I know that, but he has coached offense and defense.
I don't. Hey, y'all. Do y'all hear her? Do y'all hear me? Y'all said I went off this time.
Go ahead. We hear you now.
My bad. It's like, man, I was like, right now, it's like we taking a road trip, but we don't know where the hell we going without even using a map or a damn GPS.
Yeah, that Jew said. Jew said the same thing, man. We have no idea what we doing.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to look in the mirror and man, like, look, this is me. This is who I am. Sometimes either you have to stick with it or you have to change it up. Yep. But let me go ahead and jump up, man. I'll listen to your boys tonight, man. Y'all boys be easy. Yep.
All right, Kirsten, that's it, man. Like I said, Tank, you got one more take before we end this, bro. I guess everybody got things. What the hell going on? Is it a tornado storm or something? A hurricane?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was saying that Raheem Morris has coached offense and defense, right?
No, he was a wide receivers coach. He's a pass game coordinator. He just creates plays.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's not necessarily a offensive coach. He just like the schemes and stuff like that. So he's very in depth as far as like because of his experience as a DB coach, he understands how to beat DBs. But he never called plays. He's never like managed an offense like that.
Oh, okay. They were talking like he was coaching offense and shit.
Nah, he put the game plan together. He helped put the passing game along with Kyle Shanahan, along with Mike McDonald, along with all those guys. that were with the Atlanta Falcons. All right, so he helped those guys. He led the room. So all those guys, the guy in Green Bay, oh my God,
Matt LaFleur.
LaFleur, he had that room. He was in charge of that room.
Back in Washington, right?
With us. And 16. Those guys were with us. All those guys were with us on the same staff with Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
And Raheem was in charge of that. So he gets all the credit for heading that room.
Right.
Those guys were the true brain behind that passing game under Matt Ryan. You see what I'm saying?
Mike McDaniels too, as well.
Yeah, all those guys. So you gotta understand. A lot of people get it wrong. They think, all right, he was the guy that was head, in charge of the offense. He really wasn't. He was just in charge of those guys, and those guys were putting all those ideas. That's why all those guys end up being head coaches, and Raheem didn't. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things when you look at Raheem. Why are you saying this? And that's why I say I'm looking at Raheem like, what are you really good at? Because everybody else got a head coaching job. You the only one there. So are you really the brainchild behind it? But we'll get to that later.
Right.
I appreciate you, Tank, coming on. Like I said, we have open forum tonight in case we're gonna do his thing. But we out of here, man. That's all we got to say about that, bro.
Talk to y'all later, man.
Yes, sir. So K-Style, that's it, bro. You want to tell people anything else before we cut this short?
Fuck Nick Cannon. All right, yeah.
Oh, that was random.
Nah, but for real, man. Like I said, we get part 2 of this therapy session tonight because I think a lot of people are really, really upset or disappointed in the direction that this team is going right now. The expectations were a lot bigger coming into the season, and unfortunately, they haven't lived up to it. So we'll finish this up. That's all I got to say on that.
Hey, with that being said, like I said, we got Jew Talk Sports. Unless he have something that comes up, because his wife, our dear friend and Teacher Red, she's expecting. So Jew's always on call. So you might get what's the word, dirty bird, but like it just depends on what happens with that. Stay tuned for that. And 11 o'clock Tuesday, and we got the Lady Birds, AFN, they on Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff coming on. We got OG Sam, obviously he gonna have his tape. We got OG Truth with his weekend recap. So y'all always stay tuned late at night. He's been doing a great job with that. But the end games with One Drill. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, AFN, Coach Unchained. We got Blackberry doing his thing. We got Will. I think at Ty, he got a lot of stuff going on. He's been incredibly busy, so stay tuned for a lot of that. We got a lot of stuff, man. As y'all know, we got a lot of stuff. We getting that wrestling stuff. So again, man, leave your comments. If you want our takes on wrestling, leave your comments. We will do videos and we will do a live show on wrestling. But like I said, that's coming. And with that being said, this has been your boy, Mad Mike. All right. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be fine. And it's incredibly frustrating, and just need some changes. And that's the bottom line because Mad Mike said so.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.